Welcome back to the fastest 30 minutes in all the sports. It's your boy G Bush right here in the Ultimate Browns. We are giving you a training camp preview of the Cleveland Browns. Camp starts tomorrow. By the way, your boy G Bush will be in the building if you are interested. Every time after camp, I will be coming to you live tomorrow. Make sure you watch the Ultimate 216. I will be at training camp. I will be in with Earl to Pearl at 5 o'clock. Make sure you guys check that out. After that, we will be doing a live in which I will give you my news, notes, thoughts from practice earlier that day. We will be doing that on the Barbershop as well, simulcasting to UCSS. So we will be getting all over the place. It won't be just quarterbacks. We will be on what I learned from offense, defense, special teams, all the above, my news, notes, and every single time I'll be out there, we will be going live. So make sure you guys check that out. And on Saturdays, if you are listening to the Barbershop will come after practice, and I'll get out there and take a look and see what I give, and then we'll come back and do a special episode of the Barbershop. So keep it locked. We're ready to go. We got content coming by the boatloads. It's camp season. It's ready to go, and you got to keep it tuned to UCSS. Now let's keep it pushing. We talked about what I want to see for the season. Let's talk about this even more. 3 most important players and most important people. Because I'll start with the first person on this list for 2025 is Kevin Stefanski. This is going to be, for me, Kevin Stefanski's most difficult coaching job because of the way 2 relationships ended. One with Baker Mayfield and one with Deshaun Watson. We've all delved into all those relationships before, and guess what? Some of the stuff he didn't handle correctly. Some people second guess him on keep playing Baker Mayfield when he was hurt. Some people second guess him moving on from Baker. Some people second guess him with Deshaun Watson, moving from coordinator, moving the offense, changing that, and not being able to call him out on certain things in the film room. All these things are well documented. But it's time where you can have another opportunity to see right now his evolution and what he learned from his mistakes last year. He made some mistakes last year. And I think everybody makes mistakes through their coaching tenure. And as you grow with the organization, you get an opportunity to see some of the things you did. And I want to see if he makes the same mistakes. I want to see if he's learned from them. He has his most difficult job this year because all eyes are on Berea. All eyes are on the Cleveland Browns. When you get, and this is just a simple facts. The Cleveland Browns, of the way that they've stacked themselves, have given themselves no great PR. They just came off the Myles Garrett thing where he asked for a trade. They got him to come back into the fold. We're going to see, did Myles Garrett, was he telling the truth? Was he saying, hey, look, y'all ain't trying to win? We're going to be looking at his effort, his energy, and the way Coach Stefanski, really gets him to play a certain style of football. What is that relationship going to look like? Coach Stefanski also has to deal with the quarterback room. He came out and said it's a 4-quarterback race. Joe Flacco has already shown his worth in this league before. Joe Flacco was a fan favorite. Joe Flacco led the team to the playoffs. He's going to be a popular candidate. You mix that with the fact that the elephant in the room is a lot of people, they see Kenny Pickett as a former Pittsburgh Steeler, rightfully or wrongfully. Listen, I could care less if he was a Pittsburgh Steeler or not. Whatever, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek people say about it. But there's some people who look at that and is going to say, okay, I'd rather have Flacco. I'd rather have Joe Flacco. There's a thought to where Joe Flacco has one of the best arms out of the group. You also have Dylan Gabriel, who has a contingency of people that believe Dylan Gabriel, if he was a little bit taller, would be a higher pick in the draft. But they like his game. They like his arm, like his intangibles, like the fact that he's a cerebral player. And then obviously you like Shedeur Sanders. And let's keep it real. We're not just saying we like Shedeur Sanders because he's famous or whatever. We like Shedeur Sanders because he can play football. We like him because he was a first-round pick in our minds in terms of talent evaluators, at worst a second-round pick. People wanted Shedeur Sanders at pick number 2. It's not just because he's some reality star. He can play football. We've seen it in the tape. We've seen it in his practice at OTAs. It's been documented. So when you have all of these three people in the mix, you have a lot of stuff that you're going to need to deal with. And how you handle this is going to be pivotal. Because think about it. You're going to be expected to play all of these guys. The first decision is, who do you keep there as a veterans? Are you keeping 4 quarterbacks? Are you going to start Pickett? If Pickett isn't playing well, are you moving to Flacco next, or are you going to the young guys? It's just all about how you do it. And there's going to be a faction of the fan base that's going to be upset about all of it. If you play Dylan Gabriel over Shador, people are going to be upset. Some people go, if you play Shador over Dylan Gabriel, they're going to say, why would you take a 3rd round pick and you took Shador later, and all of a sudden, why did you waste that pick? Some people are going to say, why did you bring Flacco back and then cut him because you got Kenny Pickett? Some people are going to say, well, why did you give all this draft capital? You gave a 5th round pick for Kenny Pickett, then you cut him? You see what I'm saying? How you handle that matters. Throw into the matter, Quinshon Judkins, he looks like he's is not going to be available for the foreseeable future. What do you do? How are you running? Are you going to run the same offense? Is Dylan Sampson going to get it? All these things are going to watch Kevin Stefanski. And when I say it's a legacy year or make or break, it's this. Kevin Stefanski can come out of this thing looking and smelling like $1 million. We'll kind of talk about that 3 ways to define success coming up in the next episode, next segment. But you tell me, if the Cleveland Browns come out here, you don't have Quinshon Judkins, Dylan Sampson looks pretty good. You go back to your offense, and not only does the offense run, offense is efficient, and at the same time you may possibly develop one of the young quarterbacks. They're going to come out. If you do that, and you can possibly use those picks next year on something else, Kevin Stefanski could write his contract. Because how many coaches would be able to handle that quarterback competition, changing the offense back over, and no expectations from the fan base or the media in terms of win-loss records? Come on now. Pivotal. If he coaches at a level where he gets them to play clean football and they win 8, 9 games, 7, 8, 9 games, everybody's going to come away saying Kevin Stefanski is the right guy for the job. But he can also come away looking real bad, because this thing can spiral very quickly with a lot of factions of the fan base arguing back and forth about who should be coming in and out as quarterback and whether the team is evolving under Kevin Stefanski. Second most important player, it goes back to Kevin Stefanski's offense to me, it's Joel Bitonio. He came back. And what I put on the thumbnail, it's legacy. And the reason it is truthfully about legacy with this is because you got to look at this, guys. The legacy of Joel Bitonio can be looked at differently here. Joel Bitonio at one point in time, no lie, I felt was on a Hall of Fame track. But that's what happens when you play with young quarterbacks or quarterbacks that don't get it done, where you don't have a franchise quarterback. You have these ups and downs. And for an offensive lineman, you have to have some success in the postseason to get to where you need to go in terms of wearing that jacket, unless you are Joe Thomas. Or you're just that good, it don't matter. The team was that bad around you, it didn't matter. But Joel Bitonio is going to be one of the big keys for this entire season, because the offense is surrounding, and the offense is going to be the focal point of what they want to do. Joel Bitonio thought about retirement long and hard. And the reason I say Joel Bitonio is because it takes a level of physicality. It takes a level of stamina. It takes a level of just want to and nastiness to play the way that the Browns played in 2020. Understand that way takes a physical toll on you. Wyatt Teller understands that. Hey, Dick Chubb and Kareem Hunt understand that. But when you had Dearness Johnson as a third running back, you had Kareem Hunt as your second back, and you had Nick Chubb, and you had a young, in the prime, Joel Bitonio and Wyatt Teller. Come on now. Jack Conklin was part of that group, but the Cleveland Browns ran the ball over what they wanted to do. Kevin Stefanski was able to run some of that stuff. You know why? Because they had a mauler group up front with 2 physical guards. You fast forward to 5 years later, you're 5 years older, a lot of more wear and tear on your body. Is it possible that you could have thought about retirement, but now reverting back to a more physical style of football? I ain't known too many to do that. I ain't known you to get older and get more physical. I ain't known people to get older and still be that aggressive and still be able to play that style of football. Because what it does, it puts a lot of strain on your offensive line. That's why I always tell people there needs to be an evolution of what Kevin Stefanski wants to do. It can't just be the same. We got to incorporate some other things because I don't believe that you can sit back and rewind the hands of time and come back and just say we're gonna get prime Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin and Joe Bitonio. It starts with Joe Bitonio though. He came back. Can he get that offensive line unit to a point where not only are they able to run the play action stuff, are they able to give enough protection to quarterbacks that may be learning on the run, that may tend not to see their first read, that may hold the ball a little extra second other than Joe Flacco? That's the point I want to see. Because if you want to see the 2 young rookies play, their success level is going to be tied directly to how well that they can protect them and how well the offensive line can run the football. That's why I go with Joe Bitonio at number 2. Number 3 is Myles Garrett. I could have had him at 1. I could have just squinted real easy and said Myles Garrett's the best player on the team. It is what it is. But I'm picking Myles Garrett for a different reason. I'm picking Myles Garrett to see the level of want to. And I've never questioned Myles Garrett's want to. If anything, I've been one guy in the city who says, come on, bro, if anybody deserves a pass on anything, it's Myles Garrett. He's one of the best defensive players in the game. He is the best defensive player in the game. And not only is he that, he's one of the top 10 people in the league, in the top 10, period. Other than, quarterbacks. He's the guy on a short list. When you go to the best non-quarterback, he's on a very short list. He can wreck games. He can change games. This year, I'm looking for him to change more than the game by itself. What I'm looking for him to do is to inspire. I want him to take and have an expectation level for Mike Hall Jr. and Mason Graham, Isaiah McGuire, Alex Wright. I want him to take those guys aside and say, listen, I'm on y'all every week. Where's your second pass rush move? Where's your third pass rush move? We out here working stuff after practice. I need my 2 defensive tackles to dominate. I need them to dominate. Should nobody block y'all one-on-one because I'm going to take 2 for the team. I'm going to take 2 and 3. I want to see where he's pulling those guys together. I want to see, hey, listen, hey, we got team meeting. I want to see all the guys together. We're a unit. If the Cleveland Browns are going to have expectations outside of, 3-4 wins, defense is going to have to go back to the way it was. And I'm talking about dominant. Sideline to sideline. When you come to Cleveland Browns Stadium, I don't know who banged it on the side of the keys or whatever. Right? Y'all getting a new stadium. Send the old stadium out the right way. Because it ain't been worth, you ain't had no home field advantage up to this point. Send it out the right way. Put an exclamation point on what you're trying to prove and say, listen, guys, if we're going to be good, we're going to have to carry some quarterback play and might have to carry offense that ain't that good. So we got to get to the point where these young guys are playing over their head. And the first thing it starts with is saying that, listen, we got what it takes to be the best defensive line in the game. You already got me. You got 2 high draft picks of Mike Hall Jr. You got Mason Graham, a number 5 pick. Expect production, and the expectation level is that's what we're going to be. And that's what I want from Myles Garrett. I want that from Denzel Ward. But it starts with him. Because you said the Browns wasn't serious about winning. but you have some things in your purview that you can do. You got some things right in your tool belt that you can do. I can't guarantee that the quarterback play gonna be there, or the receiver weapons gonna be there, or how effective this new switch to the back to Stefanski stuff gonna be there. But you know what I can do is demanding more and say the defensive side of the football, leave that to me. Leave that to me. That's what Ed Reed do. That's what Cameron Hayward do. That's what Ray Lewis does. That's what Brian Urlacher do. Warren Sapp, leave the defense to me. And if you can get that off, that is where you can make some progress. Speaking of progress.